Yo, stocks 5150. Good morning, good morning, good morning. Today is October blah 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 14th, 1014, 1014, 25. What do we have? What do we have? What do we have? We have let's see. Overnight, well I made a short video on that. We pulled back. So my short paid off right here. My short paid off. Cause I went short. Let's go to activity. I had did a short, did two contracts, 24,681, and yeah, that one. And that was at 142 because I figured that the market would pull back. I was thinking it would pull back at the close or something or leading up to it. And I was wrong because at 142, we go back here and we look at the trade. Let's see, go to the 1 hour. At 142 yesterday, so I went in at 142, went in right here. You see what happened? We had this doji. This is what caused me to think that the market was going to go back down was because right about here, but we sat at a doji. It went down, but then you see it just stayed flat and didn't go down. And then what it ended up doing was actually going up. So see, I got in at, let's do 30 minutes. That'll show it better. Where is 142 at? 142 is right here. Yeah, so see, it did make a move down, and that's when I got in right there. And then it went up, you see, and I was stuck. Now market closed at 1600, which is here, and it was starting to head down. But by then I had already left because, well, it was hard to watch. Because it was two contracts, so I was down like $200, which basically almost was hitting into my gains because I just got that one contract back even. So overnight, what happened was stayed flat and then started rising. So Asia session started about 9 o'clock, 8:30, 9 o'clock, or whatever. I look at that. But then something special happened last night at about 10. Got another top doji, top wick, and then boom, cascade right back down. It's not showing on here, but to the low, we crashed through the fifth. This is the first 15 minute. This level here, and that was about 1 o'clock or so. Yeah, and once that happened, that was about when I happened to walk in here and checked and see that. I logged on, I saw it, and I took the profits. Now, yes, I could have stayed in all night. I got more. I probably would be doubled up by now. But it's cool because it's calm because what do we have? Last night we got 40, sorry, 617. Wait, no, that's not even it. These are not even the right contracts. What is this? This is today. 1:44 a.m. Oh, because then I did like right, okay. Because I did do something last night. I did just because I did two trades. But let's see, yesterday. Yeah, my mark to market preliminary settlement. That's it right there. See, I was down $186. Yes, that's it. Okay. So I was down 186 and then like I said, held it on through the night and at 1 a.m. that was it right there. So we got 617 out of that. But then we just went back in and did a quick one. Boom. All right. So we're green again. Back green, we at 8. Got 4 contracts through the year, right? Or what I think I don't know how many contracts. I think you have 12. But I don't know if that's true because I tried to do a January contract and that's not available yet. But this December contract is or March is, so I think it's quarterly. That being said, if it's quarterly like this, like so, we're in the March one right here for 2026, and we're green, back green. We were down. This is all from yesterday. We were down 700 or something like that, I believe. I don't know. And that came back green, and we got our current one for December. We got that back green. We had 848. The point is to try to get. Well, what I would like to get is to try to be able to trade and get. This is from what is this from? This is let me do it like this. Year to date. Year to date, we have totals. This is everything. So I've coughed up 23. That's a lot. It is a lot. Let's do this. Trade dividends. Let's see. Trade. So year to date total, we got 14. That's with fees and everything. So it's 14, and I have five. Commissions of 460, fees of 398. Yeah, so on here it shows the total is 14. I don't know how that's gonna work for us when I do my taxes, but I'll find out. Did I have this right? Transfer without interest. Yeah. Okay. But I think this also counts. Well, this is, let's see, this just says trades. So yeah, I've been going in and out, but I've been taking some L's too. Like you see here, these are losses. But what I was looking at, what I'm supposed to be looking at, this is year to date, and it says I'm at five on the other one. So yeah, this is from January 7th. So from January 7th, you can see here we started off with the L's on ES, and then I switched away from that. ES seems to move a little slower, and then I was trying to swing. I don't know what I was doing, but it wasn't working out. So then I moved over to NQ, and things kind of turned around a little bit. So this is saying 14 total currency. But see, that's counting. Well, it's 14, and that's 15. It's only a G. So I might not be doing as good as I think I am. Those are the transactions. This is year to date. Again, up here at the top it shows it. So 58. That's what we got because we got 19 on one of that contract, 599, 11. The point I would like to do is to get at least 10 to 20, and then I'm keeping this money in here, and then that way I can get to where I can trade an NQ contract, just like two contracts. Now those contracts cost 30,000, so I got a lot of work to do. But reward versus risk. Now I have an order in at 24,700 for how low did it go to? 24, see what 24,744. I think I have it for 24,700. That's the bottom. And that's a buy order because on this is on the March contract. Because I figure if we hit back down to 24,700, that should be around the bottom, and then I'll ride that back up. So I'm gonna leave that order in there. All right. This is the March contract. So let's go to the current one for December, please. NQZ 525. Oh, and I found a charger for my cooling fan too, and that seems to be working. Yay, yay! Shout out to Walmart, even though it was a lot of work on my behalf. All right, so where are we at? This right here was our low from yesterday, and this is so we're back at the open, which is interesting, and we're wicking. So we'll go for one right quick. No, we're gonna look and see what's really going on. Let's top down, please. All right. So 4 hour, and this is for today. This is us falling down overnight. So this level is 502, 24502. And what is the high on this one? The high on this candle is 842. All right, so we'll do one. Let's see, come down to the 1 hour. So we wicked here. So this was yesterday. So we'll just select this and move this right here. This is pre-market. And what was the high? Well, the high was there, but that was the first 15 minutes is what that was, that range. So we haven't even started, and I won't be here for that. I got something to do today. Trying to help somebody join the army. Lost souls. But you can see here, once we broke above that first 15 minutes yesterday, then it ran. So I don't know. There's something to that, you know. All right. So what I'm thinking about doing is this. Something to it and 24,498. What's that? Is that the low? 24,502. So I need to move this to close enough. 504, that's close enough. All right. So 24,504 is the bottom in the overnight, and it has already started trying to recover. So let's go to the 1 hour. Bounced off that. This is not the strongest move. It's already started to wick, but it is overall a low. 546, and the let's see the high 655. So we're at 634 right now, but the trend is down. So the trend is down. 15-minute, please. All right, we got a bounce. So we got a bounce. Time is 7:43. What happened? Did anything happen? Let's see. Asia. Asia was down last night. The Nikkei down 2%. Um, yeah, the Nifty 50 0.3%. So the Nikkei was down 2.5%. So that's what all that was. So yeah. All right. So earnings we have J.P. Morgan should be at, well, it was at 6:45. Johnson and Johnson will be, I guess, after hours. Johnson and Johnson right now is showing at 190, and Last report was just released. Okay, and oh, Johnson and Johnson beat. They're up 1.4%, 1.49%. Revenue beat up 1%. Look at that. All right, let's see what the banks did. Let's go back. We got JP Morgan Chase. JP Morgan Chase, their shares are down 0.89% right now. 2 points from 307. All right, so basically they're flat. And today at next call, they have a call at 8:30. Oh, something might happen at 8:30. So I don't think I'm gonna go into net. Well, of course I'm not gonna. I don't know. I might do something, but their earnings. What do they have? They always beat with their earnings though. So for like in 2023. So I mean, this is Jamie Dimon. So JP Morgan first up, and their estimate is 4.87, revenue estimate 45.6 billion. So that's today at 8:30. Yeah, all their numbers look good though all the time. So at 8:30 we have JP Morgan. That'll be them. Johnson and Johnson was at 6:30. Does that coincide with this bounce? Could healthcare be what's pulling this up? 6:45. Yeah, look at that. Johnson and Johnson actually having an impact. Nice. Nice. Healthcare. Let's look and see if XLV is and go to the chart. Well, the market's closed, so it's not gonna show anything right now. So all right, so plan is let's see, so 15 minutes. We're at this range right here. We're bouncing off our 50. Like we scroll out for our fib. I think that's our 50, or it's at the 38.2. Yeah, we're bouncing off the 38.2. So if we can break above the 38.2, which is 633, we are. But if we can hold above 633, then we might be going back up to. So let's give it a shot. 630. 633 is the what 630 look like. Hmm. All right, we're up above it. So let's get one 650. 630. Okay, we're coming back down. Okay, cool. We'll get one right here. Oh, whoa. 640. All right, so we got two for 640 to the upside. 42 right now. All right, so we in two at 640 to play this up to the upside. The high of this candle, keep in mind, let's see what is this. This one, I can get rid of this right now. But we're gonna play this to the upside. To maybe we're going back up to the 50%. This is a this one right here is for I'll stay in it till 8:30 or so to try to play which is crazy, but to try to play JP Morgan's earnings. Maybe it's some excitement cuz or this could be like boom, head and shoulders. That's the recovery, then we come up. That's the left shoulder. We can come up and get us ahead. And that takes us to 76.5 to this 25 105. That could take us there today. 25 105. Let's see what that takes us to if we get 25 105. Just playing this fib right here. 25 105. 25 105. Yesterday we didn't even make it. How high would we make it yesterday? Yesterday we got to 2502. Okay, so 2502. We just stayed to 2500. Let's do that. 25, what did I say? 25 105? No, to 61.24. 24 924. All right, so we get back to 61.8. So we play that to the upside. 24 9 24. So we do 24 900. All right, we got some right here. Should be some liquidity there because you see we went up above, so we'll play it right underneath it. And that's what we're going to do today. All right, that's our target. So this is an all day sit. We're just going to sit in it all day. So it won't be much trading. Um, yeah, that's where we at. Man, I could just like lock in some right now. Like I literally could just trade. I might trade a little bit right before. So I ain't going nowhere. So when this gets here, let's see. 85, 90. What is this? 624, 640. That's where I got in at. Where's 660? That's 20 points. Take that. All right. So now what are we gonna do? We're gonna just trade this. Like we're gonna just trade a little bit. We're gonna trade a little bit before we go to that. But that's our overall is to try to get back to that right there. So now we'll do another 24 660 again. All right, we back in. What did we get out at? 24 660, 24 661. That doesn't even make sense. Do this for today. Okay. Hmm. I don't know. But either way, let's trade. All right, we got a bounce. All right, making a run. Nice wick right there. We're at 24 660, so we'll go for 24 670. 10 points. 4 points is 18. All right, we're going for 10 points. What did this one get to? 665. Up, giving up the gas. Bounce right here. You can definitely pull back lower. 55 will do my next one. Looks like we're gonna break back down. All right, excuse me. We could be going back down to what 48. We hold 48. That's 45 right there. So if we can hold that level and bounce up and go to what is that? That's 72, 70. Yeah, we got a lot right there at 650. Could be shorts though. Be coming back down to the 38 retest. A lot right there. All right, we had a Sadoji green. Okay, that's the confirmation. Possible push up, break up higher. Maybe we get to 70. Yeah, I kind of got in that one a little too tight. Being a little impulsive. Meanwhile, what we got over here? Let's see. For the futures, so right now we're down 0.89%. That's on S&P futures. Nasdaq futures are down 1.18%. So everything is down at the moment. Of course, I gave it the gas right below where my target is. Get another bounce. Time is 7:59. So what is this? Johnson Johnson. Remember, this is basically a JP Diamond play, but that their call is at 8:30. So I may just, if I get out of this one green, which I feel like I should, then I'll sit in it. Yeah, looking like we're floating though. Mm, those candles don't look too strong. Yeah, we're going back. We're gonna dump back down. Constipated cougar. Look at that going down. Touched the 38. Fair enough. That makes sense. We could be pulling back too and free and what's that preparation for? Well, this is where we went. Look at this. This is where we've been for the past 7:30, 30 minutes, right in this range. So we got to bounce off of that 38. Okay. So if we can stay above this and push on up and repeat this, got 30 minutes before the earnings call. And that'll be what else is coming up? What other earnings are coming up today? That's it, just those two. Or at least that's only big dogs. Financials are looking flat. You know, they're up a little bit, but point 0.9, not much. All right, yeah, we dumping on that. All right, went back down, and I'm not gonna cut it yet, although I should. Now I'm kicking myself that I didn't keep that one down there at 620 when was thinking about doing that earlier. I believe it was. Yeah, 'cause that's what we're hunting back down for all of that, sweeping them up. No child left behind. This is the part that I have to get better at. You see how I'm wrong here and I'm sitting at 144, 144. If that was a big contract, then that would be $1,000. Now, I was just wrong. I should really be having some stop losses, but just let it play out for as much as I can. But I do feel like that is going to be up. Yahoo Finance says Wall Street warns S&P dip buyers more turbulence ahead. That means that they're gonna yank it down some more. That was 2 hours ago. Stock market today: the Dow, S&P, Nasdaq called lower amid rewind or revived China trade angst. That's Market Watch. That's what they say. And 58 minutes ago, Dow set to open down after China retaliates in U.S. trade war. That's what Barron says. So, what did they say overnight? I wonder. Let's read this. Let's read and see. Because we may be going back down. Yeah, so stock futures pointed lower as trade tensions with China re-escalate Tuesday. Friday sharp losses. All right, let's go to the higher time frame. Let's look at something right quick. All right, we're getting a doji. On the 15, we're sitting here. This is where we at. My order, of course, is below the high. I mean, above the high. 24,630. We went 24,606 so far. So let's see if we could get some gas and we push up and go a little bit higher. Actually, that stands to reason. If this turns out to be a head and shoulders, that stands to reason to be that this would dump. See how the ebb and flow of it is. This is the base that we hit. Yeah, I think we're heading back up. I really hate that I didn't wait though. That's why it's important to look at your higher time frames. I'm not even gonna lie. So I jumped into that one just off of like, okay, here to here. Should have been paying attention to where I was at. Every day is a new lesson. The same old lesson. Anyway, what are we talking about on this China news? China, China, China. 625 is a lot of liquidity right there. All right, so what were we talking about on this China news? We were talking about, and that's what I need to change this. I need to scale back in instead of doing two at a time. That was yesterday when I was trying to YOLO. I was swinging for the fence, but I'll do that later. All right. Matter of fact, let's do something. One, let's get one for 625. All right, so now we got three. That brings us to 648. We'll close out of two. We'll sell it at market at, well, actually, I think our order is up here for two at 70 or something. I don't know. We'll see what happens when it gets up there. And a five. Yeah, definitely downtrend. What I'm hoping for is a repeat of that. Those two, that wick right there. We got that wick there, and then it holds and comes up, and we stay above. Yeah, it's tricky, very tricky. Yeah, we stay above this 40, 32. Stay above that. Make a push up. That's a nice one right there. Got a wick. Top wick. Let's go. We need to get more. Crawling back up. But yeah, position a play like that would be nice. Boom, boom. And I get out alive. All right, so we're wicking at 52. We wicked out at what? 54 we wicked. See what the close is. 54 high. We're sitting at 46. 45. Wrong way. Need to push up. 4 minutes on this candle. All right, back to the news of 48. And close up this candle close up high and then we'll just be sitting with that one. 811. 811 is the time. I don't like these wicks here though at 59 and stuff. High is 60. All right, let's get to 660. Liquidity. Come on, let's go. Get to it. Get to it and stay above it. That's looks like we selling back down to 55. Oh, nice push up. Still haven't broken the high yet. The high is 60. We're at 55. There it is, 55. Build up, son, build up. Giving it up. 47 is the current. The low is 34 on this candle, so we could close lower. It looks like. No, if we stay above 55, we can get above 55 and stay above 55. Well, 655, 75. That's looks seeming like it's not happening. They sweeping this up. 650. Even above 650 will work. All right, back to what I was reading. So anyway, it says let's see. So re-escalation, China re-escalation, Nasdaq benchmark, blue chips. All right. So what did they say? All right, Bacon Giants, J.P. Morgan Chase. Okay, they kicking off. Okay. Um, all right, we already know Nasdaq fell 1.2% last night. Okay, so that's all that is. Tell us about what happened last night. We already know about last night. Bam. That's Asian market in China. I had the drama. The drama. All right, 37. Let's see where we at. 47, 52. I hope that we can stay above 50. I was hoping we could hold 55, but Looks like it's giving up the gas. Giving up the gas, man. We're getting us to bounce on this next candle. Okay, this is the next candle coming up. So what do we have on this one? We had a high of 660. The close was 47. This one, the open was 41. So we opened lower, of course. So for the high is 53. But on the trend, it looks like it's up, but it's definitely heading back down. All right, 8:15. We got 15 minutes before we get our earnings news. We'll see what happens. If we can capitalize off this. This is literally a YOLO. And I'm in the middle of it. As in, like, I should have waited and did that down here on that pullback. So I could have caught all that move right there. But I didn't. Trading harder, not smarter. Let's give us some visuals. But yeah, still sitting at the 38. I feel like if their earnings are good, maybe. Okay, so right here we look like we'll come back down, maybe revisit and then bounce up higher. But we didn't break even with that. Yeah. This is on the 1 minute. On the 5 minute, what we looking like? Same thing. We didn't. This is a lower high. So we're trending down for sure. Definitely a downtrend. All right, got us a doji, a red doji. No one knows what's gonna happen, but it looks like we're going down. 17 minutes. I actually see this playing out. Like I was hoping that it would go and do this, but it looks like it's gonna play out and dump. Uh-huh. So now I'm like kicking myself because I didn't take that opportunity to get out earlier when I was green with that 60. This is the part about me with greed. I should take the $50 or the $60. Just take that off the table. But I tend to want more. I gotta keep it in perspective. If I get used to taking the 50 to 40, the 50 to 40, if I do a big NQ, that'll be 500, 400. You see, higher risk with more reward. Right now, I'm risking it with three. Mm, still the same. All right, falling back down now. What is this? 620 is the low. Six 606 is the low. Pre-market low is this. 606 was the low on that last move. 819. I gotta work out though, because I got stuff to do today. So that's what I'm about to do. So I'm gonna mute this. Stocks 5150. Yay, yay. All right, as we look at this, we can see this is not working out in my favor. Not going to cut it yet because it's still early, but earnings call is in effect right now for JP Morgan. And yeah, the market is not liking whatever it is hearing. But this could be set up for head and shoulders. This could be the shoulder, pull down and run up and close the gap. Because it's going to be a gap above because it's a gap down. So we could close the gap, fill the gap. That could happen, and that would be better for me. But hold tight. We'll see how it goes. All right. Yeesh. That was a rough one. Look at that. Five. Boy. Not. This is it right here. This is rough on a brother. Down five. We wick though. It don't look like much Jamie Dimon ain't doing nothing. And Bowman speaks at 8:45. So coming up we got a Fed speak. So if they talk about rate cuts, so this is what I think or would like. If Jamie Dimon comes out, says that they're doing good, and then market's like, okay, well we're doing good, then what's that word called? The Fed comes out and speaks and says, well, the economy is we're not worried about the economy. They're not worried about jobs. So they're not worried about jobs, so they'll worry about inflation. And so then they just start they do a rate cut and they talk about rate cuts. Same old same, but and that gives the market the boost to go back to the upside. We'll be golden. We're bouncing now slightly. Yeah. And Jamie Dimon's talking right now. Like we making some rare earth deals. Let's see what's happening. Let's see what's happening over here. Go here. So Nvidia chips slipped. Let's see, 1 hour ago. Nothing. Same old same. Nothing special happening. Really hoping that's going to be the left shoulder, and then we'll pull up and get this head on this one. Speak a lot in hope and stuff because you never know what's going to happen, man. The market, so everything's so global. But if we get a gap up, we had a gap down. One good thing though, at least so far, we wicked right here. So we didn't go all the way to the bottom. What is this? This is technically that's 50% of the move. So if we hold that, we should be good. Let's check it out. Let's see. Fib. Yeah. So just off this one move right here. So if we play this move for today, because this is the move up, We gave that up. That's 50%. 50%, we're sitting at 50. So we should get a bounce here. We touched all the way down through the 61.8. I need to reverse that. Matter of fact, let's put this up here. This move, this has already happened. And that went to 76 point. Okay, so that's that. There. All right, so that move up, that's already resolved. So now where we're sitting at here on this move, 61.8, we touched it on the downside, broke below it, hit the 50, and that's where we sit. Touched the 38.2, I mean the point 38.2, and looks like we were sitting at the 50. All right, so this could be the move for today. It's this area right here, the play for today, until we break up out of there. I mean, I'm already in a position, of course, up here at the top, but I need a breakout to go to the upside, at least up to here. And I don't, what orders do I have in? Do I even have an order in? Yeah, I got two at 670. So not looking for a lot. We're a long ways away from 670 at the moment. And the high was 665. I'll leave this up. All right, we get a bounce. If we get us a nice bounce and go up here and make us a head, then we'll be golden. That's all we need for today. You know what I'm saying? Back to mute. I got to work out.
right before we actually have to pack it in for the night and sort of, you know, lay our heads to rest. That way we could wake up the next day and do it all over again. That sort of fizzled as hopefully everybody was sleeping. If you're a pajama trader getting real active at midnight, 1 a.m., 2 a.m., 3 a.m., and then waking up to trade the New York Open, I mean, geez, power to you. But I'm catching Z's through this. Anyways, you can clearly see this lower high here is going to be all it takes. And once again, what is this? It's the previous day's low. It is the confluence with that key level anyways from off to our left. It is 24/7, right? 24/7, not you're trading 24/7, but 24/7 as in the key level. If you are suggesting a lower high underneath that, then guess what? Bears have a meaningful advance in the downward direction and a trend change. The hourly trend will remain down, lower high, lows. This is going to be, obviously it's a higher low relative to this, but it's not sticking. This is going to be a lower high and lower low combo that will keep the trend generally moving down on the hourly. So very simple stuff. Gap rules will likely be, not likely, but they will be in force here on the NQ as well. As we zoom into the 15-minute time scale, you can see everything that we just talked about in the ES will apply here to the NQ with just slightly different numbers. So as you just compare where are we opening relative to the prior day's range, obviously a gap down. We're opening underneath value area. We're opening in the lower third of the overnight range. We're opening with overnight inventory skewed probably 85%, just like the ES, net short, right? There it is, net short. So inventory correction off the low can take place, but once again, rally for gap fill reversal is the short. So the gap rules, I'm not going to walk it through in the same amount of detail because it's the same concept, just different numbers, right? Test the overnight low, fail back over the opening print or something, should probably close the gap. Now, again, is there enough risk reward here for a long? Probably not, unless there's a no-brainer stop loss in here. I don't know if you could risk something like 10 points on the NQ to pick up 100 on the upside. I mean, I don't think that trade's going to be not 100, but rather 80 on the upside or something like that. Even if you could risk 20 to pick up 80 on the upside, that would be one hell of a trade. I don't know that the market's going to offer a tight enough stop for that. I feel like your stop's probably more realistically going to be, 30 points, probably going to be more realistic, like 40 points, depending on the candle structure. So we'll see. You'd have to get a real tight stop in here, but if it wants to play out, right, and the traders who are going to flourish in this environment, order flow traders who aren't necessarily waiting for a candle close on a 2 or a 5 minute chart or something like that. If you're using order flow to sort of catch that low, you could probably pull off the tight stop loss, 15 points, 20 points, rather than expanding it out to 30 points, 50 points, so on and so forth. So it's not to say order flow is the best or the only way to trade the market. There's a gazillion ways to trade the market. All of them some of them work better than others, but you just got to find the one that works for you. That's the key. Um, Order flow traders could probably find a tighter stop, so we'll make that caveat. Generally, the principles are though, right? We are looking for a gap fill reversal to remain on a lower high underneath previous day's range. Reject that. Now you have a trend reversal to the downside, retarget the opening print. So our simplified path starts to look like this. I would say any consolidation down here is bearish as well, targeting Friday's low. Beneath Friday's low, the door is open. I'll show you the level in just a second. If we're in here, I really don't want to, again, just like the ES, I don't want much to do with the range. That's a horrible looking path. Let's try that again. Overshoot, pullback. There we go. Really don't want much to do with the range here. And again, I think it's much lower odds. So we'll say lower odds. But if we were to get this acceptance over 25K, that is where buyers start to rejoice again. And maybe that's on Powell. But I think that this is the top priority for now. What is the number? What are the numbers? 24/7? This down here is, I believe, 575, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, 575, not bad. Good memory. 575. This down low is 385. You could round off and just call that 400 as well. It's a bit of a zone. And then we'll play a little quiz again. Anybody know the next downside level? After 385, 400, what's the next downside level? Who's got it? It's actually closer than you think. It's just hardly off the screen. Anyone? Mm, no one? Okay. That's all right. 250. 250 is closer than you think, and then the big fall after 250 is 23,975. That's the big one, right? Obviously, you're talking about much larger drop there. Okay, so primary here, lower high, set it underneath previous day's low. If we do find acceptance, the only time I'll let this simmer for maybe one sip of coffee, but I do just want to drop in one potential bullish path, and the only way that you're going to take this trade is if the risk is really tight. If the risk is loose, if it's not a clean setup, if it's really kind of a wide stop, I would just stay away from it. And I'll show you what I mean in just a second here. Let's let this simmer for a moment. I'll go sip and poof. Hmm, there we go. Um, all right, three, two, one, poof. The only time
Oracle
you're going
just
to
had
long
some
this
good
on
news.
this is if it's
Oracle.
really, really tight risk. I would not be willing to, let's just say that the market opens and rallies and we find ourselves here. If there's like a, if there's a bar that's like this, there's no way in the hottest inferno you could ever find. There's no way I'm longing this high with a stop under this low, risking whatever that is, right? What is that? It's like north of 100 points. I'm not taking on 100 points of risk in the NQ to target the previous day's high and value area high at a 1 to 1. There's no way. I'm just not doing it. The only way that this trade is viable is if you have a very, let's just say the morning shakes out to be, a little lower, a little higher, whatever, and we find ourselves here. Powell starts speaking, and then maybe we get a bar that looks like this. If I can find that candle right there, if I can find that acceptance inside the prior day's range where I might be able to risk, I don't know, 750 entry, stop 700, so like 50 points of risk, maybe, maybe I would do this. Risk, reward, balloon runners. Maybe. It would have to be the tightest stop in here that I could possibly find. Now again, this is a 15-minute chart, so you might have some degree of luck on a 2 minute finding that candle. You might have some degree of luck on a 5 minute finding that candle. But the only risk here is that, opening volatility is going to blow that out. So you have to let this trade set up over the span of time. What's the issue with timing today? 12:20 gives us Jerome Powell, right? So another concept and just consideration to make here is, do I want to be aggressive on some big, bold, long thesis, even if the candle is correct on the 2 or the 5 or whatever time frame it is that you like to use? Am I going to be a big, bold better headed into 12:20 with Powell open Q&A and likely remarks on government data, right? Not necessarily what he thinks about, that looks like gout. That's a B. Uh, Not what he thinks about the government and the shutdown. He'll probably dodge that question like he always does and just say, okay, not my place to comment, right? Which is fine. That's good. But it is critical that they make decisions based on good quality data. So there will be some commentary around that. Do I want to be, once again, big, bold, full-fledged long in here? I mean, if the risk is a no-brainer, if I would be stupid not to take the trade, then maybe. But it's not really something that I'm foaming at the mouth, salivating, and thinking, ah, this is it. Like this is the day I was waiting for. I can't wait for Powell to come out and just say whatever he's going to say, and then boom, right? That's not really the way I like to trade the market. If you've been around the block, if if you're a friend of the channel, then you know that the methodology is calm, cool, collected markets, normal trading environments, not big earnings swings, not big this, that, the other thing. The most money is, generally speaking, consistent, stable markets that don't aren't doing anything that's too outside of the ordinary. It's kind of against the broken slot machine theory, but there's a time and a place for broken slot machine theory. But in the index products themselves, I like the nice, smooth, calm, cool, collected moves, not the craziness of big outside catalysts. Right? Those are my feelings, sort of, takes on the NQ for today's open. Once again, gap fill reversal kind of being the primary thing to be thinking about. Resolution of the prior day's low keeps the bearish trend change in place, and a lower high is on the table. Let's jump on over to the QQQ Cash ETF. Let's see what's going on.
All right, so basically what Matt's talking about is my target 24/7. So that's what we're waiting on. I think that's what we got, right? 24/670. Yep. So we're waiting on the 24/670, and if we get that, then good for me. I'm gonna, yeah, I'm gonna hang. Jay Powell is talking today at 12 o'clock, and we'll see how that goes. It's that guy. So we're waiting for 24/670. We're at 49.50. Get a little bit. We're coming up a little bit. Market opens up in 30 minutes. What happened in the news? Let's see, 3 minutes ago. Hmm. Salesforce, Anthropic, more AI crap. AI, AI, AI. Also, I saw something about Oracle. Oracle said something. Where is it at? Oh, Oracle to deploy 50,000 chips from AMD. Okay. Yeah, so we'll see how that goes for them. All right, so we're pushing up and we're coming into the call to the open. And again, if we can fill the gap, let's look at this on this NQ 15 minute. So we got session breaks on here now, and then so we have a that's here, and we gap down. So we definitely have a gap down. So the gap fill brings us up to here. The point of control is at 815, 821. So I'll leave one contract open. The 200 is up here. We're way below the 200. So if we can seek back up and hit to the 200, which is close to the point of control, the PLC, 730 is on the table. This is in the 15 minute. We'll be good to go to the upside. Jay Powell will be speaking, and that'll be at noon. Right now, immediately, I would like to get this 670 out of the way. Maybe that'll pop in with the volatility of the market when the market opens, and then I'll be good to go. I'm gonna be good to go regardless, because whatever happens, happens. But okay. All right, yo. Let's see. Go back, take this off. Sessions. Yeah, I don't need the sessions. I can put those on later, but I like the extended hours. All right. We'll keep that on the 4 hour and we'll see how that goes. And we're down here at the value area low, 608. We already touched that. So we're looking to get back to 829. That's the point of control, PLC. We'll see. Somewhat bullish. Boom. We need a head. We needed to go up here. All right, I gotta get ready to get out. Stock's 5150. I'm gonna leave it live though until it stops. Maybe the pause, maybe the looks like we're pulling back already in anticipation for the market open. We got 15 minutes before market open. All right, we got 3 minutes to the open, and looks like we're giving it up again, heading to the downside. Well, this is gonna be really a wild day for sure, for sure. So we pull back, but we're wicking higher wicks. No, that's a lower wick. Sorry, I put my glasses on. And we're touching right here on the 61.8 on this new fib on that move up. So we're operating with a fib for this position right here for today. We have an overall one on there too, but this is the one we'll work with today. And until we break out of it, either above or below. But right now, that's where we sit. And we have 3 minutes. No, 2 minutes. 2 minutes before the open. 2 minutes before the opening. And let's see, what did Jamie Dimon say? Did they earnings come out okay? Hmm, let's see. What is JP Morgan? JP? JPM. All right, so he's still in the call. They haven't given out any estimates or anything for us. They go. We're basically pushing down. We could be forming a. I don't know if this is going to be a head and shoulders or not. Looks like just normal up and down. Nothing special. I don't know what patterns or anything. Yesterday on trade Clay Trader came up with the constipated cougar. That's a constipated cougar. Another constipated cougar. Now we could pull back down to here, and if we hold that level, that's good. If we break below that, we're screwed. And right now we're holding on to 61.8. We touched it. And if we can build on that, we're getting a doji right here. We got 1 minute. 1 minute. We're starting to push down. 31.21. All right, starting to make a move up. 1 minute. And we are indecisive at the market open with 1 minute to go. I'm gonna switch this down to the ticks so we can watch it go. All right, here we go. We're already down. We're moving down. Here we go. Instantly. So, all right. The ticks are the wild ride, yo. There it is. Touching back down, breaking down below. So let's see. We're coming back down towards the 50. Get a bounce on that, maybe. Hold above it. The ticks are like the Wild West when you watch them, man. It's just how NASDAQ moves. But all right, that's what we got. First move open was down, and I'm gonna put this. Am I gonna put a stop in 24,450? Let's see what that would be. 24,450. I usually don't use stops, which is crazy. I know because I'm just like I don't care. But and that's poor practice to be honest with you. But yeah, I'll sit and wait on that to come back, which is crazy. Cause like right now I should get out, but I'm not. All right, that's where we at. So right now this is our move. We bounced on the 50 and we're gonna let it run. We have our positions. Yeah, we got two orders to get out at 670. So 670 is our target. And we are definitely on the downside, not on the up. Put this on the 15 minute, on the 5 minute. Let it move a little smoother. Slide this over. I should be back around 12. hopefully I'm not like $2,000 down by then.